Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. You've seen that how the cricket superstar Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been basking in the glory of the IPL victory which happened last evening. And another contrast which I really want to talk about is the future of our women wrestlers. They are staring at an uncertain future, and the news which is just coming in is that Bajrang Punia, he has tweeted that they have decided to throw their medals in the Ganges in Haridwar at 6 p.m. today. What can be more unfortunate than this? On one hand, you have the cricketers who are celebrating the big IPL victory. And here you have a set of sports persons who do not know where their future is going ahead. Just because these women wrestlers raised their voices against the Wrestling Federation chief, Brijbhushan Charan, who is a Bahubali, a BJP Lok Sabha MP, who has not been arrested till date, despite charges of sexual harassment, despite a case registered under the POCSO Act. These women wrestlers have been demanding their arrest on the day of the inauguration of the new parliament building. These wrestlers were pushed inside the police vans and they were removed from the protest site. So basically, the question we are asking is that why are the other players not wearing probably a black band for these women wrestlers? What is the future for these women wrestlers? If you look at the big IPL victory, what is the future of wrestling in our country? All this and much more on today's panel discussion. We have a very special panel today. We have Reeth Abraham, who's a former athlete. She's been very vocal throughout on this particular issue. She's a medalist as well. Thank you, Reeth, so much for joining. We have Sharath Pradhan, the senior journalist, joining us. We have Chandrasekhar Luthra, who's covered sports for decades. Thank you, Shekhar. And we have Sanjay Rana, who's also a political commentator and a BJP supporter. Thank you, Sanjay, for joining. And my first question to Reeth today is that, Reeth, what is your reaction? The news coming in that Bajrang Punia has decided that they're going to throw their medals in the Ganges. What is your first reaction to this?
If I was in his place, I would definitely have not thrown my medal. I mean, how is it going to help him in any way? I mean, that is his hard-earned medal, and he's going to cherish it, right? He should not be throwing the medal in the Ganges. It's not going to help him, and I would miss it if I had thrown that medal in the Ganges. But I would say, if you could catch hold of Brijbhushan Singh, throw him in the Ganges, that would be better. But having said that, it's really sad and pathetic that the wrestlers are being treated this way. And if Brijbhushan was not, a part of the BJP and holding a special position now, I don't know what it is, would he have got the same treatment? I mean, this special thing that not to be arrested. If it was anybody else in this place, he would have been behind bars long back. Just because he's part of BJP, he's been, treated like this. It is really, really unfortunate. And, last time we had a panel discussion in Bangalore, and that was the day the wrestlers had started wearing a black band. And we all, wore black clothes and black band. But there was a person in the audience, he says, what are you trying to prove by wearing a black band? Is it going to help the wrestlers in any way? Mm-hmm. So we have all kinds of people, but the noise that we are creating now and the concern that we are showing to the wrestlers is the most important thing. I mean, how much it is going to help them is a big question, but the way they're being treated is really, really sad. If the wrestlers who have won medals at the top level, at the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games are being treated this way, you can imagine the athletes who are just coming up. Forget it. I mean, after this, I don't think a parent would be, in a right space of mind to allow his athlete, especially a woman, girl child, to come and compete in a sport event, or So
but
it's really
I really wanted to know your reaction also on the kind of contrast which we see between cricket and these other sports. If we talk about wrestling, especially. There is almost so much of recognition for cricket, and look at the way the people treat the cricketers. But here there is a total apathy, a total nonchalance towards the wrestlers. What would you really say for this moment? On one hand, you have the fans basking in the glory. In fact, Sakshi Malik has also written a tweet addressing Dhoni and congratulating him on the big victory. Now, what would you really say? I mean, doesn't the heart melt when you see these two different kinds of treatment being meted out to do two different sets of sports and the sports people?
For me, cricket has always been an entertainment sport. I mean, there is a lot of talent and a lot of them want to play cricket because it is an entertainment sport. Everybody is, enjoying and having fun and things like that. It's not, an Olympic sport. How many countries they are playing cricket, right? Very few countries. And, there's not a single cricketer who has come out and tweeted or spoken about it. There was some cricketer who says, sorry, I don't even know what is happening. I've not been updated. And that is ridiculous. So you are basically selfish, right? You don't care what is happening around you. And most of the cricket players, I'm sorry to say that, are selfish. They've been treated very well by the federation. And, they have been taken care of even after they have finished their sport. They're happy with that. They don't want anything else. Why are our federations, most of the federations in this condition? Because for me, it is a politician is involved in a federation. Wherever there is a politician, it is a mess. We are not saying we don't want the support of politicians. We want him or her there as a patron to help us raise funds and, promote the sport. Not to hold a post there to improve his image. That is what they are doing.
Right.
This wrestling issue has reached the stage only because there is a politician holding the post as a president.
But Reet, one more question, and then I go to Shekhar. That is it like expecting too much, expressing solidarity, expecting solidarity from these cricketers, with the women wrestlers? At least they could have worn a black pant. And if they haven't done it, or if they don't want to do it, what do you think is the reason? They don't have the spine? You were saying that they are selfish, but is this not equivalent to not having a spine as well?
No, they don't have the spine. And I'm sure wearing a black band would, maybe the sponsors would say, why are you wearing a black band? I would only say they don't have the spine or they don't care. I would say they just don't care.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, Shekhar, let me come to you. Shekhar, what would you really say? Bajrang Punia throwing the medal in the Ganges. Here you have the big IPL moment where people are celebrating what Dhoni has done, what CSK has done. And people are expecting that why couldn't these cricketers stand with these women wrestlers? These women wrestlers were struggling to spend their night yesterday. What if you read Bajrang Punia's tweet? Apparently, they were roaming through the fields, protecting themselves. That they might be caught. I mean, what kind of a contrast are we seeing here?
I go with what Reet was saying, and let me tell you, cricketers have never stood for anybody. Apart from Bishan Singh Bedi, a couple of other people like Mahinder Ramanath or one or two more guys. Cricketers have always thought about themselves. They have only whatever fame or whatever money they have achieved. That is the only motive or the aim of any cricketer. Otherwise, how could somebody who has got Bharat Ratna, the first one to get the Bharat Ratna, has always kept quiet about what was happening in the dressing room? Was there no fixing? There has been not just claims or something. There were inquiries. Hansi Crone, like people were killed. They accepted. Yes, they were fixing. There were so many people who were banned for life, and during their lifetime, during the time this cricketer was playing. But this is what you can expect from the cricketer. And again, when Supreme Court was hearing all these petitions and they were investigating everything, suddenly one fine night, I would say at 12, investigator was telling us, and I have done a story, that how he was asked not to proceed with it any further because he was to arrest some cricketer and a big businessman administrator. So next day, he was about to do that, according to him. And apparently, again, allegedly, you can all use these abbreviations, but he was asked to, stop in his investigation. And the man who was in charge of the team, Rajasthan Royals, who was the captain, and if anybody plays cricket, let me tell you, without the involvement of a captain, you cannot fix a single ball. Forget about a match. That man has been given promotion. Man is still sitting there inside the dressing room and doing all kind of things. Anyway, let's come back to topic. So, Reet, I would go with you. You know, why to throw the medals, throw these politicians into the Ganges? There is no way, because they have earned these medals. And I remember that, 2016 Rio Olympics, when we were almost empty-handed after 11, 12 days. And we were actually thinking that we are not going to get any medal because our shooters faltered. So many other, top players, they could not achieve anything. But Sakshi Malik, she was the underdog. She was not the medal contender. She got us the glory. That moment we were needing there in Rio. And suddenly she was the star. She was the star,
Shekhar,
obviously, because of.
allow me to interrupt you. Don't you think that now the desperation level of these the medalists and the Olympians has reached, a tipping point, because now they have nothing to hope for. The courts, we do not know how it's going to pan out, but the system is just not helping them at all.
But why do you need these politicians to help you out? I don't understand this thing. I mean, do you actually, as a media person, are we not frustrated? Are we not being bothered by this system, so-called system? Is there not a censorship-like condition, rather more than censorship? I was a kid, when 75 happened. I was 6-year-old kid. But let me tell you, whatever I have heard, the situation right now is worse than what was happening there. That time, at least editors like Shori or other editors, they were keeping a page blank absolutely. Now, let Mr. Arun Puri or let Mr. anybody else, do that. They'll be behind the bars. So, I mean, why to expect anything from the system?
No,
And
but
sportsman,
what is the future, Shekhar, for these people like Bajrang
future
Punia,
is
Sakshi Malik?
future is Nilu, future is only vote ki chot. I believe in that. After Karnataka, we are expecting something, but again, as I was telling you yesterday, they are been, whether it's cricket or any sports, only sports has no reservation in this country or in the world. So let's believe in that system. This is not, sportsmen are not divided by caste. They are not divided by the region or religion. So why to bother anything about these, politicians or oh? Let's fight together. Let's fight for our rights. And there'll be time. They are not there for life. Let me tell you. If you tweet something against Jai Shah, I was just, there has been, pictures of Jai Shah, some doing some, gesture there during the match when he was winning. Obviously, his team lost because it is his team, Gujarat Titans. No, he's not a secretary of entire Indian cricket. He's the secretary of probably only one team. He was so happy. So suddenly I tweeted something. It was deleted within few hours. What kind of censorship is this? And Twitter with Elon Musk and all these, buffoons. I don't understand why do we even use these things? But unfortunately, this is the time. This is the word. We have to be part of this. But the moment government says anything, they remove these tweets.
Okay. Fine. I'll come to Sharadji now. The Sharadji, now you've been doing programs. We've been together on a couple of programs related to Brij Bhushan Sharan. And I read a piece today morning, this morning only, where Brij Bhushan Sharan now is getting support from the sadhus. And they have, sought amendments to the POXO Act. What is this man really up to, Brij Bhushan Sharan, whom Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is just speechless about him? Nobody in the BJP dares to utter the word A of arrest against this man. What is happening? You are in Uttar Pradesh, where he's seemingly supposed to have a lot of clout. What is he up to now?
Well, broadly, this is a blatant display of the double standards of the top BJP leadership. On one hand, they talk loud about Mahila Samman. And even today, all the newspapers, I find the front page is there with an advertisement of carrying a huge picture of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with all his so-called welfare schemes. And among those, there is a small mention of Mahila Samman also. But this is a glaring example of their Mahila Samman, if they called it Mahila Samman. They go, the 4 month long agitation by these deserving medal winners is going, it simply doesn't, it goes, it hits deaf ears. And nobody is, and they are all turning a blind eye to it. This is the first point. Let me also point out, you were asking these our honorable this lady who's herself a great sportsman, about these medals, about why they should be driven to a stage where they would announce that they have no other option but to go and finally immerse these medals in the Ganges. Well, you know, India's in 100 years, India, the total number of Olympic medals that India has earned is 35 or 36. And among these are these two bronze winners of the wrestling. Now, just imagine the worth of these medals, the level of the worth of these medals. It is not like I don't know how many people have got Bharat Ratna, not to talk about Padma awardees. And here, this is the concern that the government and the person heading the government, the Prime Minister, has for those people who should be hailed far above all this. And to bring in the cricketers issue, let me tell you, one point when missing was that the cricketers are more interested in money rather than anything else. Absolutely. Whether it was fixing or whether it is now the IPL has made it into a business. So for them, there is nothing works except for money, and they're getting their money because of the more endorsements they do. Of course, fixing was the side business that they were doing, but the endorsements is the legitimate business that they do, and they give priority to that.
Sorry, Sharadji. Fixing was the main business they have always been doing.
Okay, I stand corrected.
By playing a test match, by playing a test match, you get 6 lakhs. By fixing a single ball, you get in crores. So don't. Sorry.
No, great. You know better, certainly. And let me also add. Now, coming to the issue of these sadhus, these politicians are known for double standards. These sadhus are known for multiple standards, because the kind of things they do, we all know. I was just doing a show on the sadhus of Ayodhya, and I was told by a local, well-informed people that none of these so-called sants are actually any kind of saints. They are mahants. There are thousands of temples in Ayodhya, and somebody heads that temple. And who are they funded by? Other than innocent people, they are also funded by affluent, powerful Bahubalis like Vibhushan Sarat Singh. Vibhushan Sarat Singh, mind you, is first a Bahubali, then a politician. And of course, now he's an educationist also. He runs 53 educational institutions. You can imagine the kind of education that must be imparted under.
Sharaji, I really want to know, Brijbhushan Sharan was seen on the day the new parliament building was inaugurated. He was seen taking selfies. He was seen taking pictures. Didn't Prime Minister Narendra Modi see Brijbhushan Sharan? All of them met him, and I didn't see him though meeting Prime Minister directly. But the kind of bonhomie which was seen amongst all the BJP MPs with Brijbhushan Sharan, and now that he is getting support from the sadhus who are seeking amendment in the POCSO Act, does this mean very clearly that no action is going to be taken against Brijbhushan Sharan because of the political compulsions?
So it seems, because this is the rally which he proposes to hold on the 5th of June in Ayodhya, which the sadhus are purportedly staging, but it is being organized by Brijbhushan Sarat Singh, is a show of strength to not only to those who are criticizing him, but also to insiders, to the BJP also. Look here, this is the clout I enjoy. But let me also tell you that according to the local people in Ayodhya, these sadhus, who are some 250 or 30 or 300 odd of them, there are about 5,000 sadhus who live in Ayodhya. Out of these are the ones who are standing with Brijbhushan Sarat Singh. And except for the loud noise that they make, they do not enjoy that credibility with the local people there, because the local people know what they actually are. So it is not, but yet, if BJP, obviously, the top BJP leadership ought to be understanding this. And maybe that is the reason that Prime Minister is very shrewd. We all know that, how politically smart and shrewd that he is. So that is why you did not see him standing anywhere close to him at the new Parliament House inauguration ceremony.
Right.
Because he would still want to, keep his cards close to his chest. The day he finds that then it could affect his political future, which is coming in the 2024. So far, we all know that beyond influencing 2 Lok Sabha seats and maybe a third one, Brij Bhushan Saran Singh doesn't hold that kind of clout there. And Ayodhya, now there is another reason for staging this rally in Ayodhya. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh started his career in Ayodhya. He was president of the local, there's a Saket postgraduate college. He was the Students' Union president there. From there, his entry into the world of crime, and then further transfer into the world of politics. From there, he has been desperate to contest the Lok Sabha seat from Ayodhya, because Ayodhya grants the kind of special privilege and strength. It's the religious, in the name of religion, Hindutva. Then you are become some kind of an embodiment of it, which is what he's trying to do. So the idea is also to impress upon Modi and others that, look here, this is what I am the best candidate there. So don't be, there could be both things. Either a stage comes when there is some action against him,
Right.
or he may, for all you know, he may get a ticket from Ayodhya for the next election. By then, they would. This would be the most unfortunate. That would be the most unfortunate thing to happen.
And probably that's going to be the anti-climax of the whole story, that here we are expecting that someday will come when Brij Bhushan Charan is going to be arrested. But here comes the big story that he's trying to put pressure on Modi that, look, this is the clout I have, and you might have to just end up giving me a ticket from Ayodhya. Sanjay Rana, I'm really wanting to hear from you that, isn't your heart melting over the fact that these wrestlers have been pushed to a position where they are forced, they are driven to throw their medals? Can anything be more unfortunate than this?
Good afternoon, Neelu, and good afternoon to my fellow panelists. First of all, ideally, they should not do it, number one. Number two, when you're talking about throwing the medals, obviously, how they got the medal. Obviously, country has supported them. They have put their best of their efforts, and they got the medal. It's not their own medal. It's a country medal. It's a pride for all of us, number one. Number two, when you're talking about arrest, there is a process and procedure which we need to understand how things works. I was hearing very carefully to all our panelists, those who are there in this forum, and everyone were saying that cricketers are doing X and Y. Why? Because I am no one to make a comment on the cricketer. I am no one to pass my judgment, because I'm not here to judge anyone, whether they are taking a bribe or not, they are doing a max fixing or not. There are a couple of incidences happened in the past where they have, obviously we know match fixing happened, but we cannot, bluntly say that everyone is fixing the match. Obviously, as far as the cricket is concerned, obviously it's a very luxurious game, I would say. And some panelists were saying that 6 lakh rupees per day. Absolutely agree with him. Earlier it was 15,000 rupees, and nowadays 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and I don't know how many crores they are earning. So there is different format of the sports. So we cannot compare the format of wrestler and the cricket format, and we should not accuse or anyone or blame anyone. I'm coming to the wrestling one. Obviously, I understand there was some incidences happen. I'm not siding anyone or defending anyone, nor I'm not taking anything else. My point is simple as that. They have raised the bar, they have raised the concern on 1st of January 2023. Immediately on 2nd of January, committee has been formed, headed by Mary Com and Babita Fogart. Obviously, it took almost 4 to 5 or 6 weeks investigation, where they have requested all the players to come and give their statement. These folks not went there. And if you look at, I don't want to go on each and every allegation, because I have the details of the allegation which they have put on BB, Ms. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, so for MP of Bharatiya Janata Party. So they keep on changing the goalpost. Obviously, They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has instructed police to file a case. Police has filed a case, and now the investigation is going on. Please understand, none of the people, you, me, or anyone, those who are sitting in the panel or across India, can say or ask court or police to do the arrest of any person. It is very simple. There is a procedure which police has to follow. And there are a couple of laws which we need to
Mr. Rana,
understand.
Mr. Rana, if it is Mohammed Zubair or if it is Siddiqui Kappan, no procedures are followed. Let me be very candid and honest about it.
No.
All the procedures come in.
Zubair,
Follow long
Neelu.
procedures then.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Mr. Rana.
Okay. Why not taking the name of Manish Kashyap? Why taking only name of Mr. Zubair? Manish is also arrested, is in jail right now. What was his crime? We are discussing, you should not be one-sided. I'm here to put forward both the points,
There are many
right?
more examples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
there are
that's
many
right.
more examples. Many
Please
more
understand. Yes, please understand.
When the
He is a member.
committee was formed, Sanjay, when the committee was formed under Maricom, Brij Bhushan Singh was supposed to be sidestepped, and he was not supposed to conduct the nationals. He conducted nationals. That's why they are on the road again.
Sir, let me finish. First of all, we need to understand there was no national happen as soon as committee has been formed. Now he is not a chairman or head of wrestling committee. Please hear me out. He's not a head of wrestling committee. And wrestling committee has been dissolved and headed by IOA.
You don't understand.
No.
Sorry, Sanjay. You don't understand the.
Allow me to speak. I never interrupt anyone.
Of any
No,
federation.
I understand.
Shekhar, let
I
him complete
understand
his
very
point,
well.
then we'll be out.
I
Yes.
understand what exactly is going on. I understand. First of all, we need to understand what kind of allegation. POSCO, we are talking about the POSCO. The POSCO, there is a law. Obviously, investigation is depend upon the investigating officer whether he has to arrest into the investigation or do the investigation and arrest it. But here we need to find out who was there. Obviously, POSCO is act is applicable. If applicable is going to be somebody must be less than 18 years of age. Whosoever, but none of the guys is not, as per my information, again saying maybe you have some information last 1 week's time. I don't have any information in last 1 week's time, but no one has come up with the details. It's happened, but I'm saying I'm not here to defend anyone, but please understand, we cannot do the agitation or do the dharna to arrest someone. If they have any concern, they have a phone call. Saraji, I can laugh on you, you can laugh on me, but we need to be very, very candid. This is not the politics. Do you think this Vinny Forgot and Bajrang Punia is not doing the politics? You know how it started? 2012. Who was there? Who made whom?
Sanjay,
Why
let's
Huda
be
is
candid
not
about
there?
the fact that the FIR against
Right.
Mr. Brij Bhushan Sharan was filed only after the court's intervention.
Agreed.
This is a sad commentary of the system we are staying in. System we are surrounded with. No matter
Brij
what
Bhushan Singh
Sudeep,
conducted
no
the
matter what
national camp.
explanations you give, Sanjay,
Based on that national camp, the players were selected
no
to
one's
represent the
participated.
nation.
No one
Come on.
participated.
If you
No one
don't understand,
participated.
if you don't know
No one's
the facts, how
participated
can
in
you?
that.
Okay, you complete
Hey,
your
I only have
No
all sympathies
one
for
means
Sanjay.
only these three players or a couple of people who have been supporting. Otherwise, all others, including Dahya, the medalist in silver
Nilu,
medalist in Olympics, he
Let's
also
Can I
let
finish my
Sanjay
point?
complete his point. Yes, let's.
Because this is not the way to do the debate. Okay, 5 people are laughing on me, not hearing. If this is the way to
we
do
are
the
not
debate, I
laughing.
can
I'm just
laugh on
putting
it.
the.
No, Sharat ji is a senior journalist. The way he's laughing is the way we have to do
But
the
at
debate.
least if
Sanjay,
I cannot
don't be
cry,
offended.
if I cannot cry, I will at least laugh.
You can cry. Cry for what? Are you a judge? No, are you a judge?
You can't
Sanjay,
come me
complete
down.
the point. Sanjay, let's not
Are
get
you a judge?
personal. Let's not get
Sharat, are you
personal.
a judge?
Sanjay,
judge
let's
of
not
Supreme
get
Court or
personal.
I am a judge of Supreme Court?
Sanjay, one request.
I'm-
Complete your point,
No,
please. Let's
no,
not get personal on the show.
I just say one half sentence if you allow, Neelu?
Yeah.
I just want to say that I have all sympathies for somebody like Sanjay who has to defend the most indefensible. If something like this has happened in his own family, if his sister was involved, then he would not be talking like this. So I have all sympathies for
also
you.
about cricket. When Sanjay, you were saying about cricket, that fixing and all things. Let me tell you, it was the Supreme Court that bench. Let me say it openly. They have hided that. They have put that envelope in the sealed envelope. They never opened it. In fact, they uttered some names there, but it is still there in the sealed cover. And all
Sir,
those players, I understand. I have
Okay.
done that stories. I have
Sir,
put
can
all
I,
13 names
my dear
in
sir,
print.
I
See,
understand.
go and see
Let
the
me,
story.
let
So,
me,
so don't
Sanjay,
go
complete your
by
please,
this.
point, then I'll
You
come
know,
to Reed.
that's why I'm saying
Okay.
stick to your thing. Don't spread
simple,
lies that this has
no,
not
no,
been
no,
happening
it's,
or so.
no, no,
No,
no,
I'm not going to take
simple,
that.
simple,
Okay,
no,
Sanjay,
no,
complete your point, please.
I have
okay,
faced the defamation in the court, 1.5 crore. So don't give me that. I have won that.
it is
Against
very
who is
simple.
no more
It
in
is, no, no,
this world.
I,
So let me not take his name also.
Okay, Sanjay, complete your point, please. Yes.
it's very simple. I'm not here to judge anyone, not here to defend anyone. Simple as that. And nor am I Supreme Court of India. Look at the allegation. What allegations Vinny Phogat has put on Mr. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. He sent me DM on. He asked me my mobile number in 2014. He sent a DM in 2012. He put hand on my shoulder in 2010. We need to understand, if suppose somebody is putting hand on your shoulder in Turkey, but when he was not physically there, how can he do it? I'm saying whatever these ladies are saying, these wrestlers are saying is right. The blanket I'm giving is everything is right. Allow investigation officers to do the investigation, try to find all the things, and put the culprit behind the bars. It's very simple. But if I'm doing agitation, if I'm doing andolan, please arrest.
Can
Please,
Prime
andolan
Minister
say
Narendra Modi or
no, no,
Mr.
no, no, no.
Yogi Adityanath tell him not to be active politically and just set aside?
Simple as that.
In
He's
the
a
cases,
member of parliament. No, no,
can you do that?
he's a
Can you do
yeah.
that?
Please
Yes, Sanjay.
let me answer. He's a member of parliament, and no one can ask whether the prime minister or Yogi Adityanath not to do the politics. Simple as that. He's not convicted. He's not accused yet. Please.
So doing politics
We
means what? He's garnering
He's
support.
He's
accused.
accused.
obviously
He's accused.
sorry, he's
He's
accused,
accused.
not
He's not
convicted.
convicted.
Sorry, he's
Yes.
accused, not convicted. So simple
uh.
as that. He's a politician. He's a member of parliament, and he will come to in the parliament. No one can stop him not to come. Please understand. There's a protocol which we need to follow. Yes, investigation should be in fast track. Investigation officers should put their report as soon as possible. So at least we should be clear who went wrong and who's the culprit here. But right now, I'm nowhere to make a comment because it's under the investigation, and I'm not the right person to make any comment on investigation for sure. But yes, no one has a right.
I'll have to go to Reed, but
Nilu, I'm not a political reporter, but let me tell you, he's not. I mean, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh cannot be stopped from coming to parliament. But the parliament, one house is being presided over by vice president and overall by the president. They could be stopped from coming to parliament, but not
Absolutely,
Brij Bhushan.
absolutely,
Well said.
absolutely,
That's new
absolutely.
India.
No, 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 no,
That's
no, no,
new
no.
India.
This point,
No, 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 no.
no,
There is two
BJP
different things
doesn't believe in
altogether.
morality, doesn't believe in traditions when it comes
No,
to
morality.
indicting president.
No,
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 exactly.
suppose
The same point I was wanting to
Neelu,
mention.
suppose anyone is coming and putting allegation on me, morality is different thing altogether. Anyone can stand and put the allegation on me, and I'll say, okay, boss, I'm
Admit that
resigning
there
from
are
my post.
double standards within BJP.
No, it's not a double
Please
standard at
accept.
all. Not all at all.
Never.
We need to trust.
BJP can never
We
have
need
double
to
standards.
trust.
Sanjay,
Only-
were
only-
you
Okay,
Sanjay,
okay.
were
Now
you there in Rio?
let me get in
Let
a
me tell
comment
you. Listen.
session.
Sanjay, were you there in Rio when Sakshi Malik won the medal and we were all running towards her, or she was running towards us? She wanted to. She was obviously the star of the moment. She was all
Absolutely.
coming to
Absolutely.
us, and suddenly
Absolutely.
these goons of Mr. Brij Bhushan Singh,
No,
they
no,
stopped her. They scolded
Shekharji,
her, and she was literally into the tears. Where were you then defending?
no.
Then you'll say he
Sorry.
had no business to be there in the arena because president
Yes.
was there. Come on.
Shekhar
Listen, you
Shekhar
have a
has
different
one
field.
examples
Talk
like
about
these.
that. Yes, you are saying you have to investigate, you have to do all this. But let me put it there. You know, our friends, our fraternity people, they have been jailed for 2 years, more than 2 years. They are still there in the jail. Where was the investigation? Don't give this, please.
If somebody's in jail, why they are not going to court? No.
Okay, I
We
have to
need
go
to go to
Reed.
court. Simple as that.
No,
Yeah,
Sanjay,
sorry.
please. I have to go to Reed now. Reed, the question we are asking today is that, of course, I'm not trying to make any discrimination between cricket or wrestling, but the point is that here there is Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who has been giving accolades All sorts of celebration is happening.
I
And
can't
here
hear
you have
you.
a
Your voice is
set of
breaking.
sports persons who are struggling for their future. Now, how will they really protect their future at the moment? Yes, Reet? Are you there? Her frame is frozen, I believe. Reet, are
Yeah,
you?
yes,
I
I
can't
think she
hear
was
you at
lost.
all.
Yes, Reet, what I was wanting to ask you is that what do you think is the future of these women wrestlers now? Now that they have decided to throw their medals, they know that they are not getting any support from the Wrestling Federation or from the government of India. What is the future, according to you, for these women wrestlers, and how will they garner support now? See, Brijbhushan Sharan Singh is garnering all sorts of political support from the sadhus, from the political fraternity. From where are these women wrestlers going to garner support? Who is going to support them?
Good question.
In Bangalore, I've attended 2, 3 events, and everywhere, most of them are just laymen who are just concerned about the women athletes and what injustice has been done to them. So I think it is only the people of the country come out in large numbers and say that we are with these wrestlers and we want action to be taken. For me, the worst thing is when you're on the top, everybody is with you. For instance, Mr. Narendra Modi, called them personally and congratulated them. When you have won a medal, it's a very good feeling, and everybody is with you. But this is the time that they need him now. He hasn't uttered a word, and that is very, very, very sad. I think he has to say something to these girls. He hasn't uttered a word, which is very sad. I feel very bad about that. And I'm sure I can understand what the girls are going. And I think even Usha, PT Usha, she is a great athlete, but she is now the IOA president. She's backed by BJP again. The stand and the things that she commented was even pathetic.
Very unfortunate.
No,
It was
but
pathetic.
you mentioned
All
about
of us were
PT Usha.
shocked.
Reet, you are a woman athlete yourself. You spoke about PT Usha, but why should we not talk about Smriti Irani? Smriti Irani was tagged the pictures, on her Twitter handle yesterday, and she started hiding those comments. The adverse comments
So I'm
related to
saying
women
they
wrestlers, she
are
started
all
hiding
they,
those comments. Yes.
yeah, they've all been asked to keep quiet. Usha did the gravest mistake by uttering something nonsense. It would have been better if she had kept quiet.
I totally disagree with Reet.
Sanjay, 1 second. Please let her complete her point. Yes, Reet. Yes.
No, I think that, because all of them are in BJP, they have been asked to say nothing or say what they are saying now, which is really pathetic. That is what I think. I mean, as an athlete, PT Usha, she's gone. We've all gone through, so many hindrances in our competing days, and she should have just kept quiet. The thing she said was bringing shame to the country by protesting on the streets.
Right.
There are athletes calling us from overseas. Why are you all treating the Olympic medalists this way? Is this the way your country, the sporting
True.
That is very sad. What can we do?
And here, Mr. Rana is saying that we still will wait for the procedures. We will.
No. Allegations. I have.
Yes.
If you are going
Very
to allow
briefly,
me to
because
speak,
I
then
have to run the
obviously I'll
program
give you.
after this.
Obviously.
Very briefly.
First of all, I have a high regard for PT Usha ji, and PT Usha ji did whatever was the truth. So we cannot pass a blame and saying somebody just a BJP side. Please, she's
Again, you don't understand that.
No. They go, Neelu. If it
You
is a
don't
kind
cover
of debate,
IUS.
So
How can you say?
if it is a debate, Neelu.
uh,
If this is a debate, then I'm
1 second.
putting the debate. I don't want to
You
debate.
complete your
I'm
point.
interrupting.
Sanjay, you complete your
not
point.
interrupting. In
Sanjay, you
between
complete
somebody
your point.
jumping is not looks good. There is a number of allegations. There are a number of allegations which I will put forward. The allegation made by the people of so-called wrestler. I'm using this word so-called wrestler because they are not following the law. They think they're above the law, above the country. That's why I'm using this word. So BB allegation. Neeluji, what is this?
So-called.
But
Only
the
there are
Sanjay is also
real
very uncharitable
politicians,
about
real
the
lawyers.
No, you
real
made a very
use
scientists,
it.
but
uncharitable remark.
rest all are so-called.
Obviously, I will use
Tomorrow
so-called.
you'll say we are
Shekhar,
so-called
I will
journalists.
use
We are
so-called.
trying to
Let's
defend
allow
some.
him to speak. Let's allow him to speak. Otherwise, he will accuse us that we
Poor,
allow him.
yes,
Obviously,
yes.
not
Poor,
allow me to talk.
Okay. Shekhar.
Poor chap is
Please.
doing his duty. He'll
Yeah.
lose his job if you don't let him talk.
Yeah. Okay. Sanjay, go ahead.
Shekhar ji, no, hang on. Shekhar ji, know who I am? I'm
मैं
Supreme Court
फर्स्ट
lawyer.
टाइम मैं
I'm
फर्स्ट
doing
टाइम
practicing.
आपसे मिला
नहीं सर आपकी बात नहीं मैं शेखर जी की बात कर रहे हैं. He is a so
Complete your
veteran.
point. No.
No,
Please, Sanjay.
Neelu,
Sanjay,
if
complete
you're
your point.
inviting me for insult, then I will insult the gentleman sitting next to me.
You
Not
are only
insult,
sitting.
sir.
You are
Not
only
insult.
talking. I am just sitting
Eh?
silently.
He's
You
just
are only
laughing.
talking
He's
for-
just laughing
So
because
that
he's
you
not
can
getting
stop
a
me
2
from laughing.
BHK flat.
If I-
Because
if
you have
Sanjay,
been buttering Congress party for 2 BHK flat in talking.
Sanjay,
Look at
please
his
let's
face.
not get
Just
personal
laughing.
like this. I will have to end the broadcast. Please, Sanjay, complete your point.
No.
Complete your
I'm
point.
coming to the point. But why
No, just
gentleman
your
is
last
laughing?
comments. Otherwise, I'm going to end the podcast. Yes.
Yes.
You
I'll
don't.
also start laughing
BJP doesn't like anybody laughing. They want people to
now.
cry.
I sir, I
No,
sir.
And Sanjay thinks that he's
BJP.
living in
Sharaji,
Ramraj.
Sharaji and Shekhar.
It's a shame. Whatever he's doing, it's a matter
BJP
of
always.
state.
Okay,
BJP
Sanjay.
always.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
Sanjay,
BJP.
complete your
can we
Yeah.
not be so hostile to each other and let's
Yes.
discuss.
Yeah,
Yes.
BJP.
Sanjay,
Yeah,
Please, something.
yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you,
Sanjay.
Rich. Thank you, Riji. Thank you. First of all, BJP likes laughing, but not laughing of Ravana likes Shekharji. Okay, for you is the
Wow.
comment for you. Okay.
I'm not Shekhar,
Then
I'm
again,
Sharad.
Now again, you
गाली
mean
गाली
sorry,
से
Sharad.
निकल दो भैया.
I'll take it as a
Sanjay, this is
compliment.
very
I'll take
difficult
it
to
as
He
a
doesn't
do
compliment.
like this. Please don't make a personal comment against anyone. Make your point.
So
And then
he is busy making.
No, I
He is
have to
busy
end the
making
program.
comments.
Please, I have to
I'm
end the
quiet for
program.
a long time.
Cannot go on like this, please.
Neelu,
Sanjay.
this gentleman, he's so veteran. The behavior is like a kid. He's veteran, but he's behaving like a kid. He's just laughing. He's not allowing other person to talk. Do you call him as a journalist? He's a journalist. Doesn't have a patience.
I need a certificate
Here
from
for-
you.
No,
Sanjay.
you cannot take certificate
And
from
he's
me.
an
Sanjay,
entire
What?
journalist.
Sanjay,
He's
complete
an
your
entire
point.
journalist.
Okay. Again, laughing like a Ravana.
Okay.
Are you Ravana or what?
Okay, I'm ending the program. No, it cannot go on like this.
Thank you.
I'm going to end the
Thank you.
program because you
Yeah,
anyways
please end.
do not have
Exit
anything
too.
much to add on. You don't have anything much to add on to. One appeal to the viewers who are watching this panel discussion, stay tuned to the Federal, send us your feedback and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, Sharaji and Shekhar, Reeth, Sanjay Rana ji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.